Hi Spencer, how are you?
Hey Rachel, I'm great. How's it going?
Good. So you get to play a part that ends up being kind of sad because this poor kid. But when you are in a vampire story, which are all the rage these days again, what for you is like the more exciting part, like being the human side of things and being like, oh no, what's going on? Or like the supernatural aspect of a vampire movie.
Yeah, that's a great question. And the answer is somewhere smack dab in between. I think that really is sort of the purpose of this character is you get to watch his transformation where he starts to lose his humanity, but before he has fully become a vampire. And that knowledge of like what the hell is going on now. Like he has this unmoored experience that he can't quite remember it, and there's figments sort of coming back in, and all of a sudden like nothing is safe. His entire concept of reality has been shaken, and I think really through this character you get to see that specifically of like just him starting to lose his humanity, and it just the life literally draining from him as he becomes something completely different. And then of course the vampire stuff, that's just like pure fun when you get to have the fangs and the makeup and the veins, and you get to try crazy stuff. And that's just like the real fun part, the pinch me moments of where you're like, wow, it's so cool that we get to do this.
Yeah, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't you the one that has the cool like hallway kind of fight sequence in the dark?
Yeah, I
Because
do. I get to do some cool stunt stuff, don't I? Yeah, I got to get sucked out some doors, and yeah, there was definitely I got to do some cool stunts of like up on a rig where I get blown out back up through a sound stage and some cool wire work. And again, yeah, all that stuff is just all fun, especially some I love kind of like being physical and moving my body. And yeah, so those are those moments where it's just like the true joy of filmmaking, where you get to, ask the stunt guys and the makeup people all about, how they became experts in their field. So many different people have to, come together and use their disciplines to make a movie like this. And for me, yeah, it's like that's where the little kid in me comes out. And I'm like, so how'd you get, how'd you become a stunt man? And I'm just like constantly asking questions.
oh, I love it. And with a movie like this, I also love that it's set in the 70s. I was telling Lewis and Mackenzie, my favorite part is when I was like, is it a catalog? I don't know what it's called. I've never used it. I'm 32. I grew up with the internet at that point. But when they're
Totally.
going through the catalog in the like library, I was like, well, yeah, I guess that's is how they would have to like figure out what was going on. But when you are in a movie that is set in the 70s, what for you is this like the most, yeah, this is the 70s. Like I feel like I'm in a different era kind of vibe.
That's the easiest question I've gotten all day. It was my sideburns. I had like the best. Rachel, I didn't even know I could grow them. And I honestly, like, just talking about them makes me want them back. And we were filming that over, a handful of months. So I was rocking those bad boys for a while, and it was super fun. All the cars were super old. And obviously, Stephen King wrote this book in the 70s. So it wasn't a period piece, but it is now. And I'm so glad that it wasn't modernized or updated just because it has such a great aesthetic, and it just becomes part of the fabric of the movie. And it's so much better. Also, cell phones would ruin a movie like this.
When it's so funny because it's like the 70s, like I literally had bell bottoms on when I was on vacation this weekend and my hair is cut and like they're not
Yeah,
gone. They're still around.
100%.
But when you
Yeah,
have those little things that you're like, yeah, I wouldn't rock that now, but it makes it even more 70s than we already kind of are into.
totally.
Um,
And Rachel, we're millennials. I can't believe to see like 90s fashion coming back. It's just like a little part of me dies I can't believe it. I'm like, what are you kids doing?
and I'm like, no, no,
No.
no, don't do that. No, 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 jelly
Yeah.
shoes are bad. They are
I just threw
uh
out my skinny jeans. They're fine.
for a last quick thing, you're doing a Stephen King adaptation. For you, what is like the moment where you were like, yeah, this is Stephen King's work? Like, I'm so into this.
Yeah, that is another great question. I think like the sets were really well fleshed out. And
Mhm.
like, you can do these scenes in front of a green screen, but it's just so much more fun when you have the Marston house built out and these basements, and you're filming in a cemetery. And yeah, maybe it makes a difference for your performance at the margins, but just like as an actor and like how much fun it is when you step onto a set and you're just inside of a movie like that, that's when it really all comes home, and you get to think, yeah, this is pretty cool that we're doing this.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you so much for talking with me today. I really loved Salem's Lot, and I can't wait for everyone else to
Cheers.
get to see it.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait. October 3rd, Max. Thanks, Rachel.
Thank you.
Bye.